The full moon is coming. The full moon is coming. The full moon is here. Okay, so I'm going to do a full moon reading. Now, you might be watching this in the future. That's okay. It's a timeless reading, so the messages can still resonate with you in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to do a tarot reading. This is for all star signs. If you're here, I feel like it can be a sign in itself. But also, remember that full moon energies can also linger for up to 48 hours before and after. So I think that that's another thing to also keep in mind, is you can always watch this reading regardless of the date that it's posted. All right, so we're going to look at your person's feelings and kind of just actually see what's coming through. This is going to be more of a love reading. Just wanted to mention that. All right, so let's have a look and see what is going on. I have got the Romance Angel Oracle cards, got lots of other cards here as well. And before I start, actually, I just wanted to mention that if you would like to win a free reading with me, check out the description box below since I do giveaways every single month. If you would like to purchase any personal services, they are listed down below and also on my website, shopmoonlightguidance.com. There is the services like personal tarot readings, there's rituals to manifest different areas of your life, there's healing work, and there's also the black magic removal. There's also intention items on my website which thousands of people have seen results with, and the review section is at the bottom of my website for that. So these items are handmade, meditated with, and saged for various areas of your life. There's bracelets, necklaces, anklets, pom-poms, tassels, embroidered cards which you can put under your pillow, your wallet, or your purse, sage bundles, teas, candles, etc. Okay, so that's all there, and let's begin. Let's see what is coming through. I'm actually going to start with the tarot cards first because well, just because. Okay. I saw it. Did you see it? I saw it. I feel like when you see a card, you can't unsee it, and it was there. So I'm going to take the devil, okay? I don't usually ever do that all the time where I like make the cards go like this. Like it just happened today, so here we are. Okay. So King and Queen of Wands. Yeah, I had a feeling this was going to be a love reading, and it's exactly where we're going. You can see it right here. There's no hiding away from it. Sometimes I can just intuitively pick up on the fact that it's going to be a love reading. It's going to come through. So I see here that some of you are frustrated. You really, really like a person here. You really like them. You feel like they are just your person. You've been so attracted to them. You thought they were the perfect person. And you're just so confused because a lot of you feel here that you saw the signs. You saw the synchronicities. You saw all of these, what do you call them? All of these spiritual aspects of recognizing a soul connection. And then you're thinking to yourself, but it's just not nice. It feels, for some of you, it feels sad the way that they went about things, and you feel that it's toxic and upsetting. And how can something so upsetting be a soul connection, right? It's one of those things that you really feel. And some of you here are just wanting stability. You want to have true love. You want to enjoy life. You want to enjoy what you're doing. And what's really interesting here is that this full moon, okay, so full moons are interesting because full moons are about releasing. A lot of people actually sort of get it confused. They think that the full moon is about manifesting, and then the new moon is about releasing, because a new moon is when there is the cycle starts again. But actually it's new moon, which is about starting, right? Starting the moon phases, starting your manifestation, starting from scratch, planting new ideas. So that's what I see, is that full moons are about releasing. And what I see here is that some of you are so fed up. You're so fed up that on this full moon, you're thinking to yourself, you know what? Maybe I should just let go. I just need to let go because it's hurting you. It's frustrating you. You're on the verge of just moving on and just being like, you know what? Forget it. Like, I have a life to live. I am a good person. That's what many of you are thinking. And you're like, you know what? I can't be bothered. Let me tell you something. Just as you are starting to forget them, just as you are starting to move on, just as you are taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, it triggers this person. Why? Because it's also a full moon energy. This full moon, well, regardless of when you're watching this, what the full moon energy actually really does is it really does synchronize to people's emotions. And it really sends a strong spiritual trigger to the other person that you are on the verge of moving on and letting go. Now, you actually have to feel it inside of you. It's not enough just to say, oh my God, I'm going to move on, and then you're waiting for them to message you. You know what I mean? Like, you know how that sounds? It doesn't sound great, does it? So it's one of those things where you like want them to come to you, but you want to kind of move on, but then you're not moving on because you're waiting for them to like literally come to you. That doesn't work that way. You have to really know it in your heart and your soul that you deserve better and that you want better, and then that's when you're like literally energetically and in your mind you just know that this is not it, this is not making you happy, and then you start to move on. That's what triggers them, okay? Not like thinking that you want to move on and then you're waiting for them to come to you, that because you're not, you haven't really moved on, you want them still, you know what I mean? So yes, so I think that's really important here to keep in mind, is that just as you're starting to move on, they start to feel your energies and they will circle back around, okay? They will circle back around. The minute you are thinking of just, you know, well, not just thinking, but actually like wanting to properly move on from this situation, and you're starting to forget about them and you're starting to live your life and take care of yourself and also heal, and you have more acceptance towards what's happened, that's when they just want to come towards you. That's when they cannot hold back anymore. That's when they need you. And that's quite fascinating. Let's be very honest about that as well. It's very, very fascinating energies, because they feel that love towards you. They feel that connection towards you. They then start to get nostalgia. Whereas before they were suppressing things and controlling things and wanting things their own way. Now they have nostalgia. Why? Because you're moving forward. You are an individual person, okay? You are two individual people that once complemented one another. You are not two halves that make up a whole. Don't care what anyone says. That is just facts, okay? Facts. You are two individual people that complement one another. Yes, you're not two half people, okay? They're very important to know. And they can pick up on your energies when you are, you know, you can have a soul connection while still, you know, being two different people. But they pick up on your energies the more you are focused on yourself. And that is just... That's just how it is, okay? The more detached you are, because remember, detachment is actually what can bring a person back around. And the more focused you are on your life and yourself, that's really what can trigger them to want to come towards you. But the more attached you are to them and the more you need them and the more you can't be without them, that just slows everything down, and it can feel so upsetting and painful to your soul and your aura, you know, because you're like literally waiting and holding on, and then they just continue to do nothing. So actually moving forward, moving on is actually what really helps you, but also it helps the connection. So then there's that, okay? And to be honest, if you just want to move on and you literally want nothing to do with this person, that's okay too. You know, when they come back around to you, all you have to just do is politely decline them and say, you know, no, I've chosen to move forward. You don't need to be rude to them. You don't need to be abrupt. In fact, the more not rude and more non-abrupt you are towards them, that really triggers them. But still, you know, you don't need to play games with them. You just, you know, got to do what's best for you. And I think that's really quite significant. It's typical, isn't it? It's so typical that like literally when you are thinking about moving forward with your life and putting yourself first, that's when they come towards you. It's so typical. Like that's just how it's just how it is. I can't I can't tell you more. That's just it, you know. Okay, so they will come to you just as you are starting to move on, basically. They come to you and they will want to talk to you. And the devil here shows as well that, yeah, they still hold on to this ego. Like this is, you know, really inside of them, and they definitely hold on to these aspects and they really do keep to themselves. But in time, they will, yeah, they will want to progress towards you. Around this time when you are letting go and moving forward, they'll want to really come forward in a new way. It will be very spontaneous. They'll come to you when you least expect it, and you'll just be like, what, really now? Like how and why? And it's going to confuse you, because you're going to think to yourself, I was literally just moving forward and I was totally content with being by myself and taking care of myself and being sufficient on my own, and now you're going to come forward. Excuse me? I think some of you will get offended by that, and I don't blame you. I want to just validate your emotions and say that I can kind of understand why you would feel that way, because when you're present and you have the ability to love, that's when you want to be loved, right? You don't want to... It's so hard when you're like moving forward and you've energetically regained your balance and then they come back around. It's just like, really, are you serious? It is. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. Whew. But there you go, you've got another ace as well. And what can we say? This is them really coming to you with some clarity. They can even come to you and say, oh, but I really like you. You know, Ace of Cups, I really do want to move things along with you. And it's your choice, honestly, whether you accept them or not. I'm just saying that literally the minute you start to create a new cycle for yourself and you choose to move on, that's what's going to trigger them to come back around. And you know what your affirmation here is? I'm moving on. I know that's a really scary thought for some of you because you cannot imagine yourself moving on, but this is not about you cutting them out of your life completely and ditching them. This is you moving on with your life, which we know that triggers them to come back around. Not only that, it helps you. It makes you feel good emotionally. When you move on and you regain your balance, you are detaching. Detachment is the key to the law of attraction. Detachment is what brings this person back around. Not only that, detachment emotionally uplifts you, and you are your greatest priority right now, you know, to put yourself first and love yourself. So say to yourself, I'm moving on, because that is just such an incredible affirmation. It is about you releasing, which is exactly what the full moon is all about. It is about you releasing all of these energies to be able to heal and look after yourself. And this is the perfect time to, you know, create that energy of moving on, because that's really what can also trigger them to come towards you. So, you know, there is that as well. My cards. Okay, here we go. I was like, where are they? I have so many cards, but, you know, sometimes I pick up the wrong deck, but don't worry, I got the right one this time. Okay, I do have these oracle cards as well, so we'll take a look. Oh, you can't make this up. Isn't this what we spoke about, especially with the Empress? To love yourself first, okay? This is the time to do this. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Why? Because when you are doing that, you are detaching. You're putting more focus and energy on yourself than the other person. That romantically triggers them. It makes you more attractive to them. And that's what I'm seeing here, okay? You are two individual people. Look after yourself. Look after yourself. Love yourself more. This is so crucial and extremely key, because it's so important for you to love yourself and to say to yourself, I'm moving on. You know, I'm moving on with my life, taking control of my life. I'm energetically putting myself first. That is going to trigger this person so much, okay, to create that change, especially with Judgment. The Judgment card here is that the ball is going to be in your court, because not only are you physically making that transformation and change by taking care of yourself and putting yourself first, but also it really triggers them to think about what you are potentially doing behind the scenes, because it is going to spiritually trigger them, and they're going to really be thinking about you a lot as you're moving forward. It triggers them so much. It triggers them so much that they're going to start to think like, what are you up to? What are you doing? Where are you? You know, what is happening with your energy? It's going to really make them want to come towards you. And then we've got here the Two of Wands. See? Like, then they'll look out into the world and kind of be, you know, assessing their choices and be thinking like, oh my God, I need to do something about this. I need to come towards you. I need to progress towards you. Like, I need to do something, and it is going to trigger them so badly. So just as you are starting to forget about them, move on, you know, it is going to trigger them to come back around. So, wow, just as you are moving on, this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens. Can't make this up. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Just as you're moving on, they come back around. Yep. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring, which is more so from them, okay? From their side, is that it really triggers them. Have you noticed how all three of these cards have like an embrace? It's like a real embrace. Wedding. The situation involves marriage. Yeah, potentially some of you can get married to this person in the future, but that's your choice as well. I think that that's another thing to keep in mind. Worth waiting for. Divine timings at work in your... What? My words just got tangled. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Now, this is not about you waiting. Remember what I said. Move on. Okay, say to yourself, I'm moving on, because actually, do you know what? They will then be the ones waiting for you. Remember, the ball is going to be in your court, which means that you should not be waiting for them to come to you. In fact, you should be moving on, and they should be waiting for you to make your decision and your choice, because the roles are going to reverse here. And that's what I'm seeing here, is that they're going to think to themselves, oh my God, I would wait for you now. Why? Because you have changed the energies, and you will change them to work in your favor. But, you know, it takes courage and strength to be able to make that decision, you know, to move forward and move in that sense. I'm not telling you to move on from this person where, you know, I'm not telling you to energetically, like, just never think about them again. I'm telling you to do this for your own emotional sanity and your happiness. And in turn, when you feel better and you feel stronger, it triggers them to come back around. So actually, it works. It just works all the way around. That's what it does. So this is your reading. Okay, if this resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on personal services, free reading giveaway, intention items, and what else is there? Oh yes, all the other stuff that I offer is obviously down below, but if you know, if this really did, if you claim it or it resonates, please do let me know in the comment section below. I love knowing. And also, I have TikTok and Instagram. I post short readings on there every day, so if you want to follow me on there, feel free to do so. My official usernames are listed down below. Just make sure you spell it correctly, because there's some fake accounts swirling around, but you'll find the real me and it will be fine. I'm sure. Okay, so take care everyone. I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.